Hey, what's going on? In this video we're going to be painting a elf sniper. This is a model from One Page Rules. They have just released the high elf fleets. This is a new line of models from One Page Rules to play for Grimdark Future. I just did the primer with this doing the standard spray can Xenophile effect. So I did one coat of the black primer, and then from the top down, sort of like the top down, I did a coat of white primer. It took me a while to find like a cool paint scheme to go with the high elf fleets. Like I didn't want to go with green skin, or I didn't want to do like your standard like Lord of the Rings like kind of pale skin. So I surfed the internet a lot just kind of to try to get cool ideas, and I found a couple of photos or a couple of images of drawings and concept art that I really liked, where the elves had like really dark skin, like almost black, with bright white hair and typical dark clothing and like a little bit red highlights. So I'm kind of gonna lean towards that direction. I'm gonna start with this broadsword silver speed paint and use that on all the skin. I know it's going to have sort of like a metallic kind of finish to it, but I kind of like that just to make the elves kind of like magical and mystical looking. I ordered this particular blue specifically for the high elf fleets because I knew I was going to be working on these next. The Army Painter box set that I have came with a Beowulf blue, which is a little bit brighter blue. It works really good for like your typical 40k Space Marines, but I wanted something a little darker for the high elf fleets to go on all their cloaks. This is part where I just realized I painted over a belt, which I wanted to make red, but the thing about speed paints is that you really need to like kind of glob it on there pretty good, and I'm not really worried about trying to draw within the lines, so to speak, with this part, cause like all the trim around the cloak and even that belt I'm just going to go back and paint over. So right now I just want to get like a good coat of blue. This particular blue doesn't like cover really well. I feel like it kind of like reactivates and gets kind of splotchy looking, so like maybe it's just I'm not that good of a painter, but I probably should put a little bit more paint on the brush and really glob it on there a little bit better, but this is a swear out of that. I'm a big fan of these models, and I love the flowing cape and cloaks that the high elf fleets have so far, but I also like to go ahead and print my models complete as one unit, and it's kind of hard to paint with these particular models, really getting the brush in behind all the cracks and crevices of the cloaks, but it's still a good looking model. Okay, now I'm going to take the shiny silver and I'm going to go back and touch up all the areas that I paint over with the blue, just around all the edges of the cloak and all the details. This is a base that actually comes with the high elf fleet set from One Page Rules. I figure I'll go ahead and match the base with the elves a little bit and use the same shining silver on the base. Later I'm going to paint. I went back and forth on what I want to do more detailed colors with, and I decided to just go with a gold. I'm a big fan of like mixing silver and gold together for some reason. I just think it just looks fancy, and I just think that, you know, elves should look fancy, so we'll see what happens. Throughout this painting, sometimes you'll see it on video and sometimes you won't, but I'll go back with the white, this matte white, and touch up a bunch of areas. As you can see here, I'm touching up this belt that I meant to paint red, so I usually paint it back white, especially if I'm going to use a speed paint, because speed paint, you want to paint over white. So I usually go back and forth, just like touching up and then painting more and then touching up with the white. And also just with the hair, just to make it really pop and contrast with the dark skin, I'm just gonna like go back over it with the white. Here's the solder red that comes with the Army Painter box set that I have. I'm just gonna add just a couple of red details here and there. One of my favorite paints is this True Copper. I just think it's a really cool looking paint. This is what I typically use for gold. Like sometimes the gold is like too gold or too pretty. The True Copper just has like more of like a grimdark kind of look to it. So I'm gonna use that to mix with the silver gold look that I was talking about earlier. With this dark wash, I like to use, I'm going to go back and just use this for dark areas to kind of like make shadow. So I'm not going to like cover the whole model with it for like effects like most people do. I'm just going to be really particular about which spots I'm going to use and use it on most of the clothing, like the cloak and everything, and just to kind of add more shadows to the figure. Alright, so this is going to be a little controversial, but I like to use these color pencils and kind of do all the highlights in like a brighter blue or a brighter color that I'm using for whatever object that I'm coloring on. But like I will start with the light blue, and then on the very tip of highlights and edges, I'll go back with a white color pencil. This works pretty good. Except that you can't use, like if you want to use a varnish, like as far as like a dip, or if you're going to paint on, it will smudge the color pencil, so you have to use like a spray can clear coat. Here I am again, go back with the matte white. I'm just gonna touch up the hair a little bit. I got a little carried away with the black wash, and I might do a couple more touch-ups on the model that's either on the camera or not. This Citadel Earth shade is one of my favorite shades that I have. That's about the only thing I have left at Citadel. Everything else is Army Painter or just something other random. But I love using this just to dirty up bases and just to make stuff weathered looking. Getting close to the final steps of my models, I just like to use this broadsword silver on the bottom of all of my bases. So here we are at the end. This is a very quick and rough just a paint job. This is what speed paints are for. I'm not like super good at painting yet. I could take a little bit more time, but like I just have like a lot of models to make, so I'm just trying to make it as good as I can, at the same time like producing a lot of models like pretty quickly. But I'm pretty happy with it. Here she is with her gang. The whole color pencil thing worked a lot better with some of the other figures, particularly that guy that's in the back, the other sniper that's in the back that's coming around. But overall, like I said, like I'm not trying to like win awards or anything. I'm just trying to like get models on the field. And this is sort of like more of like a tutorial for people just starting out. Like, you know, don't think too hard about it. Just try to get we're just trying to get models on the field right now.